Thank you for being here tonight, everyone. My name is Holly Kemp, and I am the news editor of the Aiken Standard. I'm also a young professional myself, so this is one of my favorite events of the year that the Aiken Standard puts on, so I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. I'm going to introduce to you all our fourth class of young professionals to follow. They are an outstanding group with a wide array of talents, and I hope that everyone was able to read more about them in our special section that we put out in this past Sunday's paper. We have some extra copies up here up front for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. This section is so much fun for my team to put together, so I do want to thank reporter Larry Wood. I'm not sure where he is right now. He's writing. And photographer Cindy Kubovic over here for helping make this section possible. She'll also be taking your picture tonight. So I'm going to be announcing each honoree, and after I finish, I'm going to have each honoree come up to the front, and they'll be able to share a few words with the audience, and then you'll be able to return to your seat and be able to have your photo taken with our publisher, Rhonda Overby, at the end of the ceremony at our photo wall in the back. So I'm going to start with our first young professional to follow tonight, who is Michel'le. As the Membership Development Manager for the North Augusta Chamber of Commerce, Michel'le has paired two career goals: working in public relations and for a nonprofit. Her job is to recruit members to the Chamber and help retain those members. Her career allows her to pursue her passion of helping others, and outside of the Chamber, Michel'le is active in her church, Cary Hill Baptist, and is the secretary of the North Augusta Lions Club. Please welcome up Michel'le.
I wasn't expecting to go first. Okay. I am excited, honored, and humbled to receive this award. Thank you to those who nominated me, the Aiken Standard, and your selection committee. I'm so glad, the Lord has blessed me by placing me in a position to work and give back to the community that has helped raise me. I love what I do every day at the Chamber, no matter how crazy it gets, and it can get pretty crazy. And I love being involved with the Lions Club and my church. One of my goals is to change the perception of North Augusta and Belvedere and to make it a place people are proud to call home. I wouldn't be able to do half of what I do without the support and encouragement of my husband Cordell, my babies Jaden, Madden, and Jackson. Jaden, Madden, and Maddie and Jackson. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm nervous. I do not do public speaking. And my very large and loving family. I have a huge village that I appreciate so much. I'd like to give special thanks to Rochelle Dallas, Tara Carroll, Patricia Allen, and the late Bill Lawson for taking a chance on me 3 years ago and giving me my dream job, doing PR and working for a nonprofit organization. The NA Chamber is a huge part of who I am today. It's where my story begins and continues, from attending a random breakfast 3 years ago that led to a job with the Aiken Standard and the Star, and then on to the Chamber. I've grown both professionally and personally and met so many wonderful people who've become like family. The Chamber led me to the Lions Club and has helped me tremendously with my church and our outreach. I'd also like to thank my Chamber board members and some of our ambassadors for being here tonight to support me. I'm grateful for you all's guidance and the impact you've had on me these last few years. Finally, thank you again to my Chamber angels, Rochelle and Tara, for making me a better professional wife and mother. Thank you.
Congrats, Rashonda. And in case anyone's wondering if Rashonda really is great at her job, my email is filled with press releases from her every week, so she's great at it. Our next young professional to follow is Patrick Carlisle. When Aiken native Patrick Carlisle was 18 and right out of high school, he walked in the back door of Newberry Hall and asked for a job. 17 years later, he still works at Newberry Hall, but now he and his wife Natalie welcome thousands of guests each year as the owners of the public reception, meeting, and banquet facility in downtown Aiken. Despite his long hours, Patrick still finds time to give back to the community. He participates in the annual A Chef's Extravaganza, and his staff also help host Aiken's One Table every Thanksgiving. And unfortunately, Patrick is actually getting a break from working right now and is out of town. So we will make sure that he gets his award whenever he gets back into town. So moving on to our third young professional to follow tonight is Derek Bush. To tell you a little bit about Derek, he has always felt called to service, and he answered that call as an assistant public defender. He helps protect his clients' rights while also offering them hope. He is on the board of the Family and Marriage Coalition of Aiken and hopes to continue impacting Aiken in a positive way by being a servant leader in the community. Please help me welcome Derek Bush.
Hey, thank you. Can y'all hear me okay? Good, good. It is a real honor and a privilege to be here with y'all this evening to be celebrated among other young professionals here in Aiken. I'll say this, I love my job. What I love more and what's truly evidence of God's kindness to me in my life is the people who support me and who love me. My wife Brooke is right over there, my mom and my dad from Charleston, my in-laws Don and Patricia Semeka from Bluffton, all here to support me and love on me and really have done that my whole life. My in-laws since I've been married and my parents my whole life. So I count myself very blessed. And two people who I want to thank, they're not here this evening, Grant Gibbons and Nick McCarley. Grant Gibbons is the Circuit Public Defender for the 2nd Judicial Circuit. That's us, Barnwell and Bamberg. And Nick McCarley, who's the Circuit Deputy Public Defender, both of which who, a lot like Rashonda, 3 years ago took a chance on me. I was in Seneca in private practice and had never done criminal law before, and they believed in me. And I think that those the seeds that they planted in me of belief have really blossomed in the last 3 years. And it's been a real treat to protect people here in Aiken, people who can't afford private representation, people who are less fortunate than I was growing up, people who don't always have the same opportunities that I've been given. And so I'm really grateful for this opportunity that I have to serve this community in this way. I hope that y'all will find avenues there's lots of organizations who are helping folks who are less fortunate in Aiken, and I hope that y'all can find those avenues and support those avenues as well. But thank you very much to the Aiken Standard, to everybody who's really been so kind to even have this dinner and have these awards for us. So I'm really grateful for everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay, our next young professional to follow tonight is Dr. Heather Troutman. As a veterinarian, Dr. Heather Troutman wants to make sure that her patients are as calm and relaxed as possible throughout the whole visit. She tailors her therapy to their particular animal. A native of Greenville, Heather now plays in the handbell choir at St. Paul Lutheran Church, and she and a friend also started a hand chime choir for middle and high school students. She is a member of the Aiken Junior Women's Club and also teaches a career class at Kennedy Middle School each February. So please welcome Dr. Heather Troutman.
Hi everyone, so I'm Heather. Like everybody has already stated, I am extremely humbled and honored to receive this award tonight, not something that I would have ever expected. There's a couple people that I want to thank. First of all, Dr. Holly Waltz. She's my mentor at the office and also a good role model just for life itself. She plays a really important part in our community as well. And Pastor Jeff Erbsborn, he was at church and kind of welcomed me to Aiken when I first got here, and I didn't know anybody. And then, of course, Miss Georgia Williams, who lets me into her classroom every February to talk to some kids about what it's like to be a veterinarian day in and day out. I have a lot of fun doing that. And then, of course, my family at Veterinary Services, who a lot of them came out kind of as a surprise tonight. Yeah. I'm so excited to have them to support, and they make it a joy to come to work with every day. And then my husband, Brock, who supports me when I say yes to some things that I probably shouldn't. And then my parents for being good role models for me my entire life and showing me how important that community is.
Our fifth young professional tonight that we'll be honoring is Tim Bailing. Tim doesn't have any children of his own yet, but as a mentor to youth, he's got hundreds of them. Tim is the founder of Success Team, in all caps, a nonprofit organization that specializes in education and youth development. His team makes sure that Aiken's millennial generation is ready to step into leadership roles in the future. Tim is a USC Aiken graduate and is also involved in the education outreach component of the Concerned Ministers Fellowship. Please help me welcome Tim Bailing.
Thank y'all. Good evening. I gotta start out with letting y'all know how blessed I am. Like, to be here, it's super surreal just because my goal, really is to be a young professional if I love. I do my best not to shy away from leadership. Being the founder of Success Team is a situation where it's true, I don't have any kids of my own just yet, but we try to make sure that we cater to as many kids as we can throughout our community. Thank you to Aiken Standard. Thank you to Young Professionals for following the committee. Congratulations to everybody, past and present, who have been honored with this recognition. But the only thing that I gotta be honest with you with is the fact that my name isn't the only one that deserves to be on this recognition. Like, my team is supreme. We're small, but they've gotten used to me being in the mode of this is what we're gonna do. And they just follow me all the way. Like, I appreciate them. From top to bottom, there's so many individuals in this room that have impacted my life as well. So many individuals who reached their hand. Jason Holt, Feraldi, everybody, majority of people in this room have contributed to me being up here. Giving a shout out to my father, my mother, my better half, Tori Roberts back there to support me. It's just a situation where when you see me, please understand that I'm not the only one up here. Everybody who rallies behind me to make sure that we get what we need done and complete our goals and accomplish my personal dreams, I just appreciate them to the utmost. But thank you.
And Tim is one of multiple USC Aiken graduates that we have here tonight. So we have lots of homegrown success leaders with us tonight. Our sixth young professional to follow is Angela Odom. Angela works as a dental assistant She worked as a dental assistant for an Aiken dentist for 14 years, but she always knew she wanted to follow her passion, which is education. Today, she shares her knowledge and experience with students at Aiken Technical College, training them for their careers. She said the best part of her job is watching her students grow into professionals. She also sings in the choir at Thankful Grove Missionary Baptist Church in Windsor, and she also volunteers with the local nonprofit Sisters Only Club. Please help me welcome Angela Odom.
and I'm not going to sing. Just like everyone else said, I am highly honored to be able to accept this award. And it was so fitting, just like Ms. Rhonda stated earlier, that every person can make a difference. And when my students leave me, I always like to give them this little short story. And it's about a little boy walking along the beach, and he's picking up starfish and throwing them back into the ocean. And this older gentleman sees that, but he goes up to the little boy because there's so many starfish, and he's just throwing them back in the water. And he continues to say, well, why are you throwing starfish back into the water where there's so many? You know, you can't make a difference. And he looked at the old man, he threw another starfish back into the water, and he said, I made a difference in that one. And so I always take that to heart, because when my students come to me, they're just a little blank slate. And every last one of them, when they leave, I feel like I've made that difference. So I like to thank my husband, who's my pusher. So when I'm doing something, it's because of him, because I'm tired. He tells me I can. I'm that little engine that can. So I would like to thank him. I'd like to thank Aiken Technical College for bringing me home, because for the last 8 years, I have been across the water at another technical college. So I'm glad to be home. And I'd like to thank Miss Mamie McRaven, because my first day there, she came up to me and she said, I'm your sister. And I said, okay. And so from then on, she's been following me, and she surprised me and came today also to Share Sisters Only Club, where I get all of my community service and I'm able to give back into the community. I really appreciate them. To Aiken Standard, of course. And let's see who else I had. That's it. That was it. But I did want to say that I do care for my community, and if you need me, don't hesitate to call me.
Our next young professional tonight is Christian Metters. Christian has found his calling working with young adults in higher education as the Assistant Director of Student Life at USC Aiken. He manages the student union and is involved in homecoming activities. He also oversees orientation and coordinates several leadership programs for his alma mater. Without hesitation, he said working with USCA students is the best part of his job. He's passionate about having an impact on students' lives. Please help me welcome Christian Metters.
Well, one thing about going towards the end is you have to kind of repeat what everyone else is saying. I really, truly am honored to be recognized as a young professional to follow. It really does mean a lot to me. I was born here, right here in Aiken, and growing up here and seeing this city kind of grow and be able to volunteer and help out and working at USC Aiken has really made me fall in love with this community. So this really does mean a lot to me. I wouldn't be who I am today without the people that I've followed, my mentors and my family, my friends. I want to thank my parents, Mike and Sherry, for just being great role models and loving me through everything. I thank my girlfriend Colette for supporting me. All my friends at USC Aiken, that's basically where I live for the most part. I want to thank Ahmed for being not only just a good boss and mentor, but a great friend as well. And his wife Kathy for welcoming me into their family. My friends over there too, we got Kevin, Travis, and Ross. They have been great colleagues as well, kind of helping me through this this crazy road that I call life. Corey for helping me, kind of find a job and help me write my resume and looking like a real professional. He's the reason I'm the one to follow. But yeah, it's a great honor, and congratulations to everyone else. I know that this is a very esteemed group, and I'm very honored and privileged to be recognized with this group. So thank you so much.
He's much taller than me. Our 8th young professional tonight is Dr. Tiffany Hall. This year will be her first as a principal, and one of her goals is to share her energy, enthusiasm, and lifelong love of service with her new students. She is a member of the Kiwanis Club of Aiken, the Aiken Junior Women's Club, and Delta Kappa Gamma, a sorority for women educators. She is also active with the Aiken Young Professionals, and she volunteers with the Aiken Downtown Development Association. Please help me welcome Dr. Tiffany Hall.
Sorry, I'm real short, so I had to wear taller shoes today. It took me a little bit longer, but like everybody else, I'm honored that I'm with a group of recipients that I know most of them, and I admire them, and I respect them. And so as a military kid, you never really fit in anywhere, and you know you're not part of that community, and you understand that. So when my father retired here to Aiken, and I went to Aiken High, everybody just embraced me. And so anytime anyone has ever said, "Where are you from?" I always say Aiken. And so this really isn't about me. It's about those people in Aiken who invested in me. And so I'd like to just give an example of the great people who make up Aiken County. So the parents, like mine, Dennis and Monica, if you'll raise your hand, who taught me that my one job in this world is to make a positive impact. It's not about money, it's about what I do and the legacy I leave behind. It's about my children. Parker, Peyton, go ahead. Oh, I bet you know what it's called. So, who motivate me to remind me that my life is my example. It's not about my words, it's about what I do. To our teachers, Miss Gorthy back there. Miss Gorthy was my junior executive committee teacher. So she has been by my side for over 20 years, and she still works. She works out with me. She speaks life into me. She is amazing. Our teachers in Aiken County are great. And then to people like our educational colleagues, so Miss McMillan, Miss Verhodes, Miss Evans, who've come here to support me tonight, and our new colleagues. It's a Thursday at 8 o'clock, and they have left their families and their friends to be here. This is what Aiken County is. And then you've got community leaders like Brad Lewis with Kiwanis and Lisa Mead back there with the Aiken Juniors, who just give life to everyone. And so this to me speaks to what Aiken is about, what our community is about, is growing and investing in our young people for them to be successful and then to continue that tradition. And so I'm going to steal David Jameson's, like, if you're lucky enough to live in Aiken, you're lucky enough. But I'd go a little bit further and say you're not just lucky, you're blessed. So I'm blessed that my dad chose here, Aiken, to retire to. So thank you.
Our ninth young professional tonight is John Lankert. John helps guide people through the home buying process as an associate broker for the concierge real estate team. Obviously, the real estate mogul that was mentioned earlier tonight. He said being a realtor and connecting with people with that feeling of home always called to him. He is involved with the Aiken Young Professionals and is on the Planning and Events Committee of the Aiken Board of Realtors. He is also on the boards of the Aiken Housing Authority and Public Education Partners. Please help me welcome John Lankert.
Tiffany's a little short. Sorry, Tiffany. Wow, this is really amazing. The first thing I really want to say is how proud I am. I know everyone's humble here, but I'm proud of all of you. Honestly, you prove to me every day that not only are there young people in Aiken, but there are young people in Aiken who are making a difference, who are doing amazing things, who are going to go out there and change our town and the world. The other thing I want to say is how thankful I am to my wife. Without Sarah, I would not be anything here, so I love you. Thank you. And also Derek Brinkley, because he's a really sexy man. Look at him. Honestly, this is a really great honor. I'm very, very lucky to be here. I'm very happy to be here. I think that it's possible for all of us to go out there and do amazing things. I really, really look forward to what all of you are going to do and what we're going to do together. Thank you.
Back down. Our final young professional tonight is Dr. Jason Holt. Dr. Jason Holt is following a family tradition as Aiken High School's new principal. He comes from a long line of educators and is a product of the Aiken County school system himself. Outside of work, Jason and his family are active at Aiken's First Baptist Church, and they also volunteer with the Aiken Downtown Development Association. He said the relationships he has made throughout his career are the best parts of his job. Please help me welcome Dr. Jason Holt.
Wow, I got to be honest with you here before I start thanking a few people. I've got to share something when I read. We came in from vacation and somebody had said, you need to go check the news. There's something in the newspaper. And I read about all these other 900 individuals. And it made me think of something my mom told me, because I am homegrown. I grew up just down the road from here in North Augusta. I've taken advantage of every opportunity, educationally and beyond, that this place, Aiken, can offer. And my mom once told me, she said, Jason, as a young man, I remember being 7 or 8 years old, I said, Mom, I really want to go down the road, because I grew up in an area that was okay. We could go down, and it was many years ago, because I'm not as young as some of the other young professionals in here. I actually taught a few of them. As that sounds. But we won't get into that. But I remember my mom saying, Jason, you can go down the road, you can go down to this park with your friend Brian, but if you go down with Daryl, you can go even further. And I thought, wow, I remember being 7, 8 years old thinking, what's up with that? And I remember coming back asking her, why can I go down the road further with Daryl than I could Brian? And she said, Jason, I just trust Daryl more. And life is about who you surround yourself with. And it's about who you choose to put yourself around. And reading the paper, the 9 other people that were selected this year, the fact that I'm next to them in a paper, I felt like my mom would be proud. And we'd go way down the road. And far down, I'm sure we would. But I'm very humbled. I'm thankful for the Aiken Standard. I'm thankful there's almost too many people to really thank, because throughout my life I have been blessed, and that's the word I'll use. I've had so many people that have taken a chance on me, and just like the glasses that are on your table, have poured into me at the times of my life when I needed it, whether they realized it or not. I told my wife just a few minutes ago that basically half the room when I walked in was mentors of mine at some point in my life. And that really is a humbling experience to stand up here today and to be able to just share a few words of gratitude that I have for them, and the urgency that each of them put into me to make sure I pour into others' cups. Because my duty and my service is to make sure that as people fill into me, that I fill doubly back into those that need it. I get paid to work with young people. I get paid to work with adults that support and encourage young people. I never wake up and go, man, this is I got to go do another day. And a friend of mine told me once many years ago, said, you know how you can tell somebody needs encouragement? There's only one indicator you need to know that tells you an individual needs encouragement, and that's their breathing. We all need encouragement. I appreciate the Aiken Standard for the opportunity, and everyone and whoever nominated me. Hopefully I'm going to figure that out soon. So I can thank them for the encouragement they're giving me, and the reminder and the charge they're giving me to have a greater sense of urgency as I go on this new adventure at Aiken High School and beyond, to make sure that I pour into others. I need to make sure I thank my parents, members that are in this room. There are people that have poured into me greatly throughout the years. I wouldn't be here serving others without them. I have to thank somebody that tolerates me constantly, because I have an issue with saying no to people. And every opportunity that comes in front of me, I take it by the horns, and that's my wife, Stephanie. And it is not easy being the wife of a middle school, now high school principal, and I thank you and I love you for everything that you do to help support me and really tolerate me in everything that I do. Again, I thank you for everything. I appreciate all the encouragement you give me, but more importantly, the encouragement we give all the young people and those that support people in our county. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Can we please have one more round of applause for all of our young professionals? They really are doing amazing things in the Aiken community. And like I said, this is one of my favorite sections that the Aiken Standard puts together every year. The Aiken Standard has many young professionals working for us as well. So young professionals are everywhere. So I ask everyone to start thinking about who they might like to nominate for next year, because before we know it, it'll be that time of year again.